Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you're joining us from. Today is another interesting day for us to discuss about clinical and cultural adaptation to the United States. But today we're going to be centered on nurse migration mentorship. How to mentor people or what we can do for some of our nurses that are coming from different parts of the country, maybe be you in any part of Africa, we are here to, provide a solution that we've thought of and sacrificially decided to go on a very, very long journey with you guys. Long journey in the sense that we want to have a deeper interaction. We want to have, kind of a medium to be able to solve a much more bigger problem that is looming to the nursing community that is migrating abroad. So I am not going to go deep into the conversation now, but before we start, I just want to welcome everyone. I see a lot of people has joined in already, and some people are still in the waiting room, but I just want to say welcome to everyone today. I hope we are all doing well. I hope everybody is doing well. So today we have a very interesting person in our midst. She's been in our program before. She dissected the topic that we gave to her on that day, and she was able to provide insight to a lot of people that had confusion in the operating room in the United States. So I think that kind of settled the issue of questions that we've been receiving concerning the mode of operation of operating room in the United States. So, but today we are here on a different capacity. So we are here in the capacity of nurse mentorship. So ever since we started this clinical adaptation program, there has been a lot of questions rolling in from different segments and sectors of the nursing community. People have been coming in with their questions and asking lots of questions. So we decided in order for us to make this worth it, we are going to be, bringing out a kind of a compendium of all the questions that are being asked and also bringing a kind of lecture on those questions so that it is a general issue that we're handling so that it's not like we're answering one person and tomorrow the same another person comes to ask the same question again. So when we make this, we make it available for people and they'll be able to kind of listen and have insight to whatever that they are confused about. And then I just want to give us a little background of why we are doing this. Before we proceed, I just want to welcome our guest. Our guest, her name is Stephanie. Stephanie Decency, you're welcome to the program. How are you doing today? You can unmute. I think you're muted. How are you doing today?
Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on your time zone. It's good to be in your midst. I'm doing well, Mr. Decency. How about you?
I'm doing
Um,
okay.
Thank you for
All right.
having me in today. Yeah, good to be in your midst again.
Thank you so much for joining in. And like as I said before, you were muted. I have been trying to discuss with them and tell them the reason for the why it is necessary for us to have the nurse migration mentorship program in our community. So there's been a lot of questions, right? Since we started this clinical migration program, there's been drones of questions coming from different areas. And then I think me and you have been doing a great job in answering some of the questions. But sometimes some of those questions are already coming at a very costly stage that people have already made a mistake. So I recently we had an international nurse that came into the United States, bought a car the first time she's she ran out of gas. The first time she wanted to pump gas into her car, she went and pumped diesel instead of gas and drove the car off like 2 miles and the car stopped moving. Okay. And that's a very big issue because even the insurance, you're going to have a very big issue with insurance. And then your premium is going to go up like a lot. Premium is like that's why I said there's need for this mentorship because some of this word has to really make sense for you from back home. When we talk about insurance, we talk about co-pay, we talk about premium, we talk about deductibles. All those words are things that we need to come and break down so that everybody can understand it, everybody can start getting used to it. When you come to the United States, it will not be a big issue for you again. So, like I said, something as simple as pumping a gas into your car can be very, very, very costly because that girl had to go to a mechanic and they gave her a bill. She sent it to the insurance. Insurance was able to pay, but her premium went up very, very much. You understand? So, and then she didn't use her car for about 2 weeks when the car was being worked on. You understand? So she has to go back to using Uber to go to work. It can be very, very frustrating when some of these things happen. So, Steph D, I know that there's been several other issues that, been occurring in the United States. And I don't know if you can just, kind of give us a little insight to the reason why this nurse mentorship is very, very important. Because I know if this has to start, like I told her that if it has to happen, it has to be her. I would just be chiming in from time to time, but she has already gone ahead to develop more than 20 topics from all the questions that we have received so far. So she's gone ahead to develop about 20 topics of things that needs to be discussed. But we don't want to use the time that we have every Friday to be discussing it. So we want to create another platform so that we can, really get into some of these issues and discuss them very well. There's a lot of questions that needs to be answered. Someone was asking the other day about there's a lot like insurance, terminologies of insurance. She wasn't understanding any. And then when you come to the United States, one thing you will notice is that there are a lot of fine prints. Like when you're given a contract to sign, most of the contracts how many of you, let me ask you a question here. Some of you that have written NCLEX and passed and gotten an agency, how many of you read all your contracts? Like you read your contract and understood everything. You didn't just read how much am I going to be paid. If you know you read your contract and understood everything in your contract, on the comment section, just let me know. I want to see, I want to see that if you read your contract that was sent to you by your agency or your hospital and you understood everything in that contract, can you just signify in the comment section? No one read everything. Nobody. I can't believe it. Rams. No one read their contract and understood everything. So Maya is saying I had to get a lawyer, which is very good because sometimes you may not really understand everything that your contract is saying. You understand? So you have to get a lawyer, and then getting a lawyer, you have to pay that lawyer to do that. So that's one of the reasons why this mentorship is also very important. We can actually, bring out a contract and dissect it, tell you everything about it, so that when you see some of these contracts, you'll be able to kind of say what they mean to you financially, what they mean to you, going forward, terms of benefits and, retirement benefits, everything you can think about. You just kind of know where to go from there. So, Steph, do you have some of the things that you already, written down or things that you've prepared? Just a snapshot of some of them, like to give us what we're going to be, discussing in this nurse mentorship program.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Decency. So yeah, a lot of nurses from EPG usually come to my page to ask questions about one thing or the other. Life in America, is somebody can come ask you the same question, the next person come ask the same question again. Sometimes it might feel tiring, but we've decided to come together and bring all these topics together so that we can, for those that are close to coming into America, or those that have their visa or interview dates or case complete, come together and learn these topics together. Something as simple as knowing how the weather in America is, how to prepare, for each weather or each season, winter, summer, spring, and fall. Something as simple as obeying school bus. I know that I've had a lot of people have that issue, not knowing when to stop when they see a school bus. And this is not $100 they will bring or $50 bill. You'll be fined as much as $250 just for blocking a school bus, depending on how grievous the offense is. Some you might end up going to court and all that. Also, banking, the kind of banking accounts you need to have, pumping gas, like he said. I know a lot of people made that error when they came into America. And they don't know the right one to pump, whether it's diesel or gas. Gas is fuel here. We call it fuel in Nigeria. Here is gas. All right. Also, as simple as American etiquette and communication. Our method of communication is not the same way they communicate over there. There are some things you can't tell someone during your communication with them. You have to learn to avoid, certain use of words. Also, something as driving. The other one I mentioned was like school bus, as little as driving. Yes, you drive in your various countries, but here there are rules. We might be in the same junction at the same time. Who came to that junction first should be the first to leave. You might be like, oh, the road is clear, let me enter. No, there are certain things you need to learn. This is a country where everything works according to rule and orderliness. So you must have to learn those things. So these are some topics that, I am developing a PowerPoint, and I feel it's better that all these people come together so they can learn all those things instead of answering one person at a time, and it's going to help them to adjust so fast. Your community where you are finding a home, the crime zone of that place, how to search to know the crime rate of the area, so that you make sure that your family. I know somebody that came. Even though we live in Virginia, for instance, there are some areas as well in Virginia that you cannot live. Crime zones are different in certain areas. A guy that relocated to Virginia was discussing with Buzzy the other day and said a lady how the husband was harassed in a park, in a public park by a guy. So, and they reported to a police. A police was like, this is not a good place for you to start as a person that just came into America, because the police asked them, they said they just moved into America. The guy said, no, this is not a good place for you to start. If you can find a house in another area or another city, that will be fine. When you know everything about your environment, you can easily know where to live and where not live. But for now, the policeman advised them to move. So currently, Buzz is helping them. I don't know if they have found another place or they are still working on moving.
We're still
Yeah, so
searching.
these are as little as it is, safety concerns. You should know your environment. There are a lot more that I'm developing. So I feel it's okay, you guys coming together. You have somebody that hold your hands and walk you through how life in America is. You don't have to make mistakes that others made for you to learn. As little as putting in diesel in your car can cost you a lot and increase your insurance at the same time. Instead of paying like 150 $200 insurance for your car, you can be paying like 300 because you are a risk. You become a kind of risky driver at that time. They'll see, oh, this person has the potential of even hitting someone or this. There's a way they rate all these things. So you really have to know. I have a video presentation to show you how to pump gas, you know, the ones to avoid, the ones to choose, and all that. There are lots lectures that I'm developing, and hopefully we'll start very soon. All right, that's just it, Mr. Decency.
So much for that. And then, talking about safety in the US, I know a lot of people here have thought about that. When you are planning to migrate to the United States, one of the things that is always a concern is gun violence. Because here, almost everybody has a gun. And then you have to prepare your mind, because sometimes in some cities, if you go to some cities, especially in states where they have open carry is like a law that says people can actually carry gun that can be visible for others to see. You understand? So if you are in a state that has open carry, then you are likely going to go to the mall and you see somebody that has a gun in his waist. You understand? Sometimes the first time that we came to, I think was it Illinois or some, we went to Illinois. I was the first experience I had. I went into just to pump gas. I was not able to pay in the gas station. I wanted to go inside and pay at the cashier. And then I noticed that somebody there was having a gun. I didn't know if the person was robbing the store or whether I should run back or whether I should stay, all those kind of feeling. These are things that you really need to know. Someone is asking what are the states that has open carry and those that don't have. These are some of the things we are going to learn in those mentorship programs so that you understand which states have open carry, which states does not have. But whether you will see gun in the United States, for sure you will see it. You're going to be in a place where even in the store,
In the malls.
you go to Walmart, you will see there's a section in Walmart that sells gun. You understand? There is a section in Walmart. Walmart is like a place. It's like you went to regular markets in your home country. You're going to find a place where gun is sold. And when you come into the United States, once you have your green card and you have your driver's license, guess what? You can also get a gun. You understand? There's a lot that we have to discuss. And then crime rate is depending on, areas, they are different. So some places, based on the occurrences of like, crime in those areas, and those crimes are reported to the police. So the police begins to take statistics of different area and they are able to say in this very, very location, 1,000 crime has been committed in the past 1 year. You understand? And then in another location they can have like maybe two crime or five crimes or so that's how they know areas that have a high crime rate or not. Like the lady that Steph was talking about, the husband was just taking a walk, and what pained me in that situation is that the husband is disabled. Like the husband has one bad leg, so he's limping. So if it was something that people had to run, he can't even run. So the guy that came to harass him knew that he had a bad leg. He was just taking a walk in the park, but where they were living was, it was in a very, very dangerous area. And this happens because people don't ask questions. People are not mentored when they come into the United States. Because if you are mentored before you even pay for an apartment, one of the things that you should do is to look for those crime rates in that area so that if you'll be able to live here. Even if you are going to live in a place that have high crime zone, you will know when to go out and when to come in, and at least you know how you move out and how you move. At least you'll be expectant that anything can happen, not something taking you unawares. Like you don't even know that this is existing and it happens to you. You understand? So these are some of the major topics that you're going to be having. It's going to be very, very interactive. It's going to have more, you're going to have more time allotted to it. We're not going to be in a rush. Steph, go ahead. You want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to ask in case anybody here has anything they want us to discuss, you can put it in the chat box. I can also take notes of that topic, but I have some already that I've written down and I'm working on currently. So if you know you're here, you can hear me, you have more topics of concern that you want us to address or treat on one of the days, feel free. I will have time to go over that with you guys.
Okay. Yeah, so I know questions like, is there a state that is safe? Is the state I'm going to save? Well, we're not going to be able to provide you, any evidence or any answer here. But in that in that meeting, in the mentorship program, we're going to go into the website, not just me saying it. We're going to go into the website together and we'll show you how you can look up some of these states. There is a website that you can use and you look up the states and you also see the crime rates in those states and you can see what kind of crime is prevalent. There are states where you go to, you find out that the crime that is prevalent there may be things like child abuse, or there's all this petty crime, but there are places here you will ask about, or go to, you find out that the crime there is crimes like gun violence, people are being robbed, suicide, homicide, and the rest of them. There's a lot that we're going to go through, but when we get there, we'll all do it together. You can mention your state, the state you're going to, the city you're going to live, and we can search it together and find out how safe the place is, so that you prepare your mind on the place that you're going to. And then also we're going to talk about finances, okay? We're going to talk a lot about finances because one of the things that people forget to do when they come to the United States is savings. Once we come here, most people, they take everything that they get in the United States. I know most of you have this mindset that once you come, every single dollar you made, you are going to convert it back to CD, you convert it back to Kenyan shilling, you convert it back to your home country currency, naira, and then you send it back home. You understand? And then, God forbid, if something happens to you tomorrow, nobody from back home is going to send money to dollar to be able to help you here. That is a reality. In fact, some of you may say it's a lie that some people will be able to, help. But fine, when I'm not praying that it happens, but it has actually happened to a lot of people. We have had to contribute money to bury some spouses of some of our colleagues that are here in the United States. And they wanted to carry their corpses back home, but they couldn't afford it. People from back home couldn't even pay for it. But guess what? Those people back home will be making order. We don't want anybody to bury our brother in the US, so you must bring him back so that we can bury him. And then when we all contributed money, we contributed money to send that person. They are not going to be able to send money back up here, because if you're talking about sending money here, you should know how rich you are for you to be able to send money that is meaningful in the United States. Not that you cannot send $100, $200, but what will you do with that in the face of very critical issues? You cannot do anything with $100. You're talking about thousands of dollars that will be needed at that point. Okay, so we're going to talk more about how you can save, very, very profitable investments that you can do when you come here, and also how you can plan your kids' future. Because a lot of people also forget that they have children and they go ahead and they train a lot of their siblings. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do, train people's children for them. I'm not saying you shouldn't help. I'm not. Charity is one of my other name. I do charity every now and then. I do a very big charity in December, but that doesn't mean every time in the academy. People that know me know that charity is one of the things that I love doing. But also at the back of my mind, I know that I have kids. I know that I have family, I have a wife. So we should be able to think of ourselves. We should be able to think of how to save for our children as well. Sorry, Steph, you want to say something?
No, I'm good.
All right, so that is some of the things that we're going to go into as well. We're going to be able to discuss things that will help us to save for our kids, things that will help us to save for our children. And in the United States, the school system is another thing. School is free in the United States up to high school. Yes, college. College is when you start paying, but high school is free. So that is for you if you're going to a public school. You understand? Some people come in here and they decide that public school is not for them, that they prefer, private school. There are still private schools in the United States where you have to pay school fees and they have more amenities. But guess what? There are public schools that are up to the level of some private school, but they are in a very good. So that those are the things that we need to bring to you so that you understand it. You understand? Because if you understand this system, you can actually cheat some system through some of the loopholes that are already existing in the system. That is not illegal. You understand? You can be in a neighborhood that has a very good public school. You know, the whites, they like to live together. So sometimes they come to a neighborhood, they build their own public school, and that doesn't mean that you, as a black, cannot live there, because there is a fair housing law that prevents people from discriminating about against race or anybody. So you can't tell me that I can't live. So far I can afford it, I can live anywhere. But those areas are high end. So they make their houses there maybe expensive, but what they are trying to do is just to be able to kind of cut down on the classes of people that can live in that neighborhood. But guess what? Once you're able to live in some of those neighborhoods, you'll be able to avoid paying for private school, because those schools that are in those neighborhoods are far more, in far more greater than even a private school. You understand? They are more equipped. Government sponsors it more, and the people from the community also contribute money to sponsor those schools. Okay, so there's a lot that is, going to be happening in those coaching program. And to tell you the truth, this coaching program is not going to be easy for me and Steph, because we have a lot in our hand already. Steph is doing nurse practitioner program. She's already rounding up. She's going to be graduating very soon. And me, my hand is very, very full. And she is also a manager, like I told you guys before, but she's going to be bringing out one day in a week for us to be doing an extensive coaching lesson. But if you have any question during the week, you can still put it on the platform, and those questions will be answered. But one day is going to be brought for extensive coaching lessons. There's already about 20 topics that she's developed already, but there's more topics to come. More of these things that we discussed here are things that we're going to be reviewing when we come into that. I'll be making entrances in those platforms from time to time, but Steph is going to be the one handling it. And guess what? It is totally free. It is not being charged for. So don't say this is a way to make money. It has never been my aim to rip anybody off. So this is our way of giving back again. You understand? We want you to come in here with all the knowledge that it will just be like coming to the United States is a plug and play system for you. So once you come in, you're already running. It's not like you're hitting the ground running. When you come in, you already have the necessary knowledge to enable you to do exploits, even more than what we have done. You understand? Because guess what? Me too, I made mistakes when I came here. And if you can come and not make mistake, you have every opportunity to be greater than me. I'm not saying I'm great, but you can come in here and not make mistake if you can listen to people that have been here before you. All right, so
Learning
we're not
from
going to
people's
take so
experiences.
much. Said we're not going to
Learning
take.
from people's experiences, other than
Yeah,
making the mistake and learning from your
yeah,
own mistakes. So you
yeah.
learn from people that have made that mistake so that you avoid making it. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so there's a lot that we're going to, talk about. Even when you start like when you get your house, how to connect your light, your electricity, your water, all those kind of things. I will be showing you like pictorial or video clips to, illustrate some of those things will be shown in the meeting. All right, so and we're not going to take so much of our time. We just wanted to introduce some of these things that we want to do, and let me see, give you insights towards some of them. So the outline is just a way to kind of point people to the right direction. There's been so many people have been calling our attention to so many false information that is going out there. You understand? And there's is somehow that we are here. If we were in Nigeria or in any other country and people are talking about, the United States, this one that we know, and we know that the person is lying, we will say we are not there. We cannot even talk towards this. But since we are here, we believe that we can speak clearly with authority on
Right.
some of those things. So that's one of the things that we're going to be doing. The mentorship class is going to be a lasting relationship, and you would enjoy it. I believe that if you are in that category that will make it into that group, once we have that first group of people come into the United States and share their experience, we are not going to even be talking about the mentorship class, because it's going to be filled up. A lot of people will gain knowledge, a lot of information from the mentorship class. All right. All right, so cultural preparation, we're also going to prepare you culturally. We're going to make sure that there's a lot of things. Steph, and you can say something about this. When we were coming to the United States, there are so many things that, we were told then that we need to buy. And we ended up having like so many excess luggages, right? I don't know if you remember. And
Yeah.
most of the things that we brought, we didn't even use half of it
Like right now, I'm looking for how to ship most
back.
of my traditionals at least back home because well just because we are fortunate to be in an environment or city where we have a Nigerian church, for instance, and you see once in a month actually is when we wear those native. It's usually every first Sunday of the month. So if
Thanksgiving Sunday.
I some people don't even wear theirs, and honestly, I we spent so much making those clothes, and you might come in and be in a community or environment where you don't even get to wear them. So why waste the money making those clothes, very expensive dresses? Come in first and adjust. Then you can gradually, of course, you must go back home at a point here. At that time, you must have learned your community. Oh, okay, I need this, I need this. But why coming in like okra? I dried okra. Like I dried
Lots.
so
Lots.
many okra under the fan. I air dried them. But funny enough, when I came in, I didn't use it one day, any of them. I threw them away because we had fresh okra in the African markets close to us. In fact, not even
Even
African market,
Walmart.
even in
Walmart has up.
Walmart. Today, Seth, I even saw okra that I almost bought. I'm like, I still have okra soup, so there was no need buying it. So all those things, you'll find out that it's just waste of money buying them. Is it bitter leaf? I bought bitter leaf a lot, dried them. But funny enough, we have fresh ones, fresh frozen bitter leaf that we buy from African market. So some of these things, you don't necessarily you unless you're buying them because it's cheap, you want to get in first and adjust. But don't just go and start packing everything you see, thinking, oh, you might not be able to. But things like crayfish, you can get those ones. They are here, just that they are very expensive. But any fruit, vegetable, all those things, you don't even need them. You have kale. Kale is as good as ugu leaf vegetable. All right. You can get the seed. If you are fortunate to come in and just and buy your home, you can plant those seed in your backyard, create a small garden and get those, plant them. Like now I have a garden in my backyard. I can't wait for it to grow. I have green leaf vegetables. I have curry. I have scent leaf. It was even Buzzy that did the garden. So just leave those things when you come in, know what you need, then you can always get them. All right. So these are some of the things we'll be discussing again so that you know what to bring in and what not to bring in. Please, you don't need those things. All right.
Thank you so much, Steph. So, and
Mhm.
also, there are some things that you bring, you'll be stopped at the border, and the anxiety will be so much for you. You can imagine coming to the United States for the first time, and they are, cornering you to the side and telling you that we found something in your bag, let us search it. You will be so, so disorganized. You understand? So, some of the things that you cannot bring into the United States will be also some of the topics that we'll discuss. You understand?
Exactly.
Because some people will go to pack all the fruits in their this thing,
Or leaf,
buy, or yeah, fresh vegetables, or and then what is it called?
kirishi.
Kirishi, all this meat, meat product. There's so many things that the United States Border Control does not permit it to come to the United States because they believe that it has it has the ability to get rotten. Some people travel as they are coming to the United States, they stay up to like 3 days or 4 days on the way, depending on how you routed if you have a lot of stopovers and go to different countries before you come here, you might be staying up to 3 days. And then that 3 days alone is enough for some maggots to start growing inside some of those products that you're going to buy. So they don't want you to bring some of the things that can cause diseases in the country. So these are some of the things we have to start, letting you know about. And like Steph D said, There's so many things that we brought, we didn't use it, because we came here and found them. You understand? And likewise, if we are on that coaching platform, if you tell us your city, we can go and browse your city and even tell you the names of African markets in your city so that you know what they have. So that when you get there, instead of coming here and buying everything and coming, you can go there and buy them. And don't say they may be expensive, you're buying them in dollars. Some of these things are very, very cheap. Majority of them are below $5. You can get a lot of things below $5. You understand? And I believe it should be like in many cities because we've been to the very high-end cities, we've been to, the low end, and we've tried out some of these things, and it's the same. It's the same across board. So I believe it should be the same. All right. And then clinical preparation. We're going to be talking about things that you have to do at your workplace. There's some certain language you don't speak. When they ask you, who gave you this thing you want to give me? Say that one, that other, the other nurse, the other nurse that is right there. No, the fat one. Somebody you call fat at workplace can actually just start
Body
crying.
shaming.
Yes, they say it's body shaming. Person can start crying uncontrollably, and then that becomes a problem. And before you know it, somebody has written you up. And then also some of the religious practices, some of us are very religious. There are some things you dare not do. I went to somewhere today, and the person just said, just jokingly in an office setting, the person just said, Amen, and just started apologizing to me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know if that hurts your feeling. I'm so sorry. Are you a Christian? I'm so sorry. Because the person didn't know if I am a Christian, and if I'm not a Christian, if amen is some of the things I don't like hearing, you understand? And then I'll be in a very big mess, or she'll be in a very big mess because she said amen in my presence. That kind of thing. So knowing things to say in the workplace, how to address people are also some of the things we'll discuss in the clinical preparation. And also, some of the machines that you use, we're going to be discussing them. Some of the things that are best practice in the clinical area, we're going to bring in them to you. Career advancement opportunities. For some of you that are coming here with just diploma, there is already established pathway. 8 months in the United States, you have your bachelor's. 8 months in the United States. It's not going to be bad. If you at most 1 year, you have
Yeah.
your bachelor. You understand? So it's already established platform. You can go through it, or if you want to just go and do your own research, you can go. But I'm promising you some of the areas and ways you can go might be longer. But there are already established schools and platforms that you can use, and within 1 year you have your bachelor's. If you want to go for your master's, you can go for your master's. In 2 years you are out with your master's degree. And then if you want to go for your DMP, all those pathways will be discussed in that mentorship program. Then family and work-life balance. One of the things that me and Steph D do on the side is settling of disputes of different marriages. We are not so much like, we have not been so in the marriage for 20 years, but we've had people who have been for more than 20 years come to us for us to kind of mediate into any problems that they are having. So, but one of the things that I want to say is it's not like I'm proud or boasting about it, but one of the things you have to guide jealously when you come to the United States, if you are married, is your marriage. You understand? It's very, very easy for the devil to come in through your spouse or through anybody in your marriage and attack you in the United States. So we would really spend time discussing marriage and some of the marital problems that people have, how to deal with them on that platform. I'm hearing some background noise. I don't know who else is
It's
coming.
Florence Abo. I think she's the one.
Oh,
You can
please.
mute her.
I thought I even asked everybody to mute. Okay. We're almost at the end of the program, but just to let you know, we're going to be discussing, we're not going to be mentioning names, but we'll be telling you scenarios of things that has, kind of transpired between different couples how they handled it that didn't really make sense, and how you could handle such situations if that comes to you. All right. And then investment opportunities and options in the United States. Some of you want to go into real estate, some of you want to go into different things. I'm a licensed real estate agent in the United States, so I'm a realtor. Apart from doing nothing, some of the other things that I do is real estate. So coming here, coming for that program, I guess whenever you take real estate or investment opportunity in the area of real estate, I'll be there to kind of give insight to how it goes in the United States. Okay. Before you become a realtor in the United States, you have to sit for the board exam. It's just like NCLEX. You have to sit for the board exam. You have to pass the board exam. Then you get a company that you work with. I work with a company with my real estate. I work with a company named Howard Hanna Realty Group. So they will be the one to request your license from the board, and they will help you. And I can also teach a lot of your spouse that want to get into real estate. I can teach them about it, because this is something, when I was going through it, I was having in mind that one day I'm going to sit somebody down and mentor the person towards becoming a real estate. I'm not doing it to kind of guard it to become I'm the only one doing it. No, as many people that want to become agents, for sure, I'll be more than happy to teach you and guide you to becoming one in whichever state you are in the United States, because they have a national exam and they have a state exam. So you have to write the national exam, and then you have to write the state exam for you to become a realtor in the US. So without taking much of our time, there's a WhatsApp link that will be sent to the EPG platform after this meeting. Please, we would want you to um, join that link. How do we do this, Steph? Should we make it that people
Make an
should contact
announcement,
you?
and anybody contacting me, I'll need evidence to show that the person met the criteria before being admitted into
Yeah.
the group.
Yeah, we don't want to pack people like people that have not passed NCLEX, people that just passed NCLEX. There's a lot of things you need to worry about if you have just passed NCLEX or you have not passed NCLEX. So, but for those that have gotten to certain level, like I-140 approved or case complete, at least you have gotten to those level that we know that whatever we teach you will stay with you until you come here and you'll be able to use it. Those are the people that we're going to add. So we're thinking about from case complete up, and even people that are in the United States already, they'll be able to join such groups. So I will have an announcement made in EPG, and then I will post FD's number. You can contact her, and then just discuss with her. If you met the criteria, you'll be added to the group. I'm thinking that you're going to have your first lecture next week Saturday, not this Saturday but the upper one. You have your first lecture on that day. So that lecture is going to be an intro. It's going to be all encompassing. We'll be giving you all the outline that there is about this mentorship program and even more. Okay, so from that day, we'll now start taking things one after the other until we get to a point and we can now go back again and start going through the topic. We take question as well as we are going through the topic, and then you can also contact Steph D with your questions. If you have any, you contact her and ask her questions. She'll be able to answer you. All right, I believe we've exhausted all the topics that we have for today. Do anybody have any questions? Steph, thank you for all the responses in the comment section. So do we have any question that we need to talk about? Do you have any question? If you do, if you want to ask that question by yourself, like you want to get the mic and ask the question, fine and good. You can just raise up your hand using the reaction button, and we'll be able to give you the mic to ask your question. Or I guess you can unmute. I think I didn't set it that you people will not be able to unmute yourself. So if you want to ask a question, you can unmute and ask your question. Let's take it one after the other. I know a lot
Okay,
of questions. Okay, go ahead.
Boss
Just
D,
give
good
us your
evening.
name. Good evening. Give us your name
I'm
and the place you're calling us from.
okay. I'm Gold. I'm calling from Nigeria.
Okay.
Speaking from Nigeria, rather.
Yeah. Go ahead. Good.
Okay, my question is this. You talked about schooling. in the US, and some of us who are coming over already have children in schools over here, like in medical school. Now you are moving over with that kind of a child. How are you able to fit that child in when you get to the US? Because the child is already in the university over here, probably year 2 in medical school already. So how then do you now do that? Will the child eventually stop, go back, or how?
Okay. So I've handled this kind of issues a lot of times. Steph was smiling when you were asking the question because we've handled it. You know, the reason why this question is paining me, I've handled it severally for some of my candidates, nurses that come to me to ask me this kind of question. I handled it. They were very, very nice response. They did it. It worked out for them. But guess what? I have a cousin that I helped, did all her process. And then when the thing clicked and the daughter was in nursing school, I gave them this same advice and they didn't listen to me. And they have been in the US for 5 years now. The daughter is still going to graduate this September. That's when the daughter will be graduating from nursing school with more than $45,000 debt in student loan. Student loan is something else that we're going to discuss. So more than $45,000 debt in student loan is what the girl is going to pay. So gold, this thing I'm telling you is something I would tell a sister. Okay, if you have your daughter or your son in the university in your home country, include them in your process. Have them go to embassy with you, have them get the visa with you, and come to the United States with them. Okay? When you come to the United States with them, let them stay for at least 3 months or less than that. I think within these days is very quick. When we came, it used to take time for you to get your green card, but these days is very, very fast. Okay,
Yeah.
so once they get their green card, okay, they can go back to their home country and finish their medical school. All right. This is the thing that a lot of my friends, even some people in Virginia, I gave them this advice and they did it. And their
Well,
wives, it worked for them. Their wives went back, finished their nursing school, came back here and started working. You understand? So came back here, did her NCLEX and started working immediately. You understand? So let them go back. It's going to be tough, but it's going to be easy because every time that there is a holiday, any slightest opportunity, flight is very cheap now. With $700, you can get a return ticket. You understand? So your son
Yeah,
can be coming in at every time that there is school
holiday.
holiday. Yes, come and spend holiday with you guys and go back to the. But you have to also let your
Okay.
son know. You understand? I believe that every nurse
Yeah.
that I have on this platform, we train our children very well. But that is the time that you
Yes.
would need to really be on them to keep their successes, private
To themselves.
to themselves so that it won't attract unnecessary attention in the school. You understand? Some certain
Yes.
pictures will not be posted on social media. You understand? So
Okay.
that it will not attract. So will be the one to guide that process, help your son until your son graduates medical school, come to the United States, write USMLE exam, do second part, that's part 2, and then do the practicals, get a job, and you are a mother of a doctor. But if you
Oh,
allow
you
that
just
your
solved
son,
a major problem for me.
he said,
Thank you. I said you just solved a major problem for me.
oh
Thank you
yeah,
for this advice.
yeah, it's every day I get that question every day. So, and then, but if you allow him to come to the United States and leave everything he's doing, number one, he may not get medicine again. So
Okay.
that dream of being a medical doctor is gone. He might be getting things like biochemistry, physiotherapy, and the rest of them. Or he might even come here and start doing nothing. You understand? That's
Yeah.
that's the highest that most of them would go if they leave everything they are doing and come over here. So my advice is let them continue, let them, come here with you, do everything, go back, continue, finish their medical school and come back. You understand? It's
Yeah.
only time that it will take, and all these things will become a testimony. All right. I
Thank you
hope
so
that
much.
answered your question.
Very well, it did. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Gold. And then, do we have any other question? Any other person with a question here?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. Your name and
Birthday,
where you're. Your name and
Beverly. I
Hi,
love you both. Good
thank
evening.
you.
This
love
is
you.
Chioma from Nigeria. Owerri precisely. Let me call my village name. So I'm calling from Owerri, Imo State, Nigeria. Okay. My question, I have two questions. Concerning what you just answered, I'm not trying to repeat what you say, but I just want to verify. So someone told me that though where she works, that some of these people that their children are in school, that they were able to get a sponsorship from the hospital they are working. Maybe when they start working like healthcare assistant, they will get sponsorship and they will now finish their nursing. When they now finish, they can now work for the hospital. So I don't know how true that one is, because she was like emphasizing on the aspect of working in the environment you know you are going to stay, having a grip of what the environment gives. So that's number one. Then the second one is my son may be writing his WAEC before he will migrate. And our schooling system here, by then he may be around 15 plus or 16. So what advice will you have for him? Is he going to, continue secondary school, or is there any other thing he can do? Then number three is me. By God's grace, I have my case complete, and I'm trying to improve myself. I have this passion for IT, which I have really indulged in for past months. I've finished the in-demand training, and currently I'm doing cloud security and DevOps. All these I'm doing is to help me, because I don't want to stay long at the best side. I want to join the stakeholders. I want to be at the top. So we'll make the decisions together. So what advice do you have for me? What do you think? Because if I get remote job, I don't mind working, and that's where I am now, seeking for a remote job. So what advice do you have for me as a nurse? Because my plan is to switch on to informatics for masters when I come over. So what advice do you have for me? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Choma. So let me start from the last one, the last question. Your doing IT will be very, very helpful to you in getting a remote job, but your agency will not like it. You understand? I'm just going to be honest with you. Most agencies, once you start deviating from the role which they hired you in, they are going to be very, like, let me say the way they say super mad. They will be super mad with you, because the essence of bringing you here is for you to work for them in a particular location where you are hired, and they want you to maintain that role for at least a very long period of time. You understand? At least that's 2 years or 3 years, that you have to be with them. They want you to honor that. So I don't know how you're going to do it. Mostly, I've not seen anybody with agency that is working remote or still on contract. That is going to be the issue, because they want you to be going to work. If they had an opportunity to hire somebody for remote, they may. Hospitals are likely to take somebody who is their internal staff, you understand, than getting an agency that will be working remote and for the hospital. So that's the only caveat. But what you're doing, you're checking all the boxes. I love the fact that you're getting into the IT, you're already doing your DevOps and everything, which is very, very nice. It will give you a very good head start, when you come to the United States. Also, I want you to be open-minded. Most remote jobs are not on IT alone. There are some nursing jobs that are remote as well. You understand? Like those people that I used to bring clinical documentation improvement practice, they are also remote, and it's something that you can actually do from home and for your hospital. Hospital love that job very well. So if you get opportunity to do any course on clinical documentation improvement practice, just do it. It will help your CV, and it will also help the fact that you're doing a remote job. So your son that is just had his WAEC, I would say once he gets all his qualifications, like all the WAEC results are on point, when he comes here, it's just for him to get into college. He's not going to go back to high school. You understand?
Okay.
So it's what he's doing is good. Once he comes over, he will get into college. He would have to, if he wants to do any medical courses, he will have to do. I feel like we are doing the mentorship program already. If he has to do any medical courses, he would have to do like all these prerequisites, you understand, before he get into like medicine, nursing, and the rest of them. Or pre-med. Pre-med is the one from medical school. But for those that want to go into nursing, they may do like prerequisite courses before they get into. But those courses is not. They are just like courses you can do in 3 months. They will just give you some
Okay.
modules. You will run the modules, and then after those modules, you take the exam and then go into school. All right.
Okay.
Then the sponsorship. There's a lot of hospitals that would, opt to train you in an area that they have need for. Like if they want to hire you and they want to hire your spouse. So let me tell you, most hospitals do it because they call it a retention strategy. They use it to retain their staff. So they will train you, and if your husband is interested, they will train your husband if he's interested so that they can keep you and your husband working for them. That increases their manpower, and a lot of hospitals do it. But what they do is they give you tuition reimbursement, which means you will have to get a student loan and pay for those schools. Then they will reimburse you the money. They can reimburse it to you through direct deposit to your account, or they can pay it to the school. You understand? But you have to at least get the admission by yourself, start the program by yourself, and then apply for these opportunities if you have it in the hospital that you're going. Not all hospitals offer that. Okay. And
Okay.
then the advice I gave the person that called before, that's gold, is still paramount. There's no
Okay.
way you can beat that. Tuition reimbursement is not 100%. No hospital does tuition reimbursement 100%. They will either tell you tuition reimbursement of maybe 30%, 40%. Most of them don't even go up to 50%. You understand? So the remaining one will still have to be taken care of by you. You understand?
Okay.
So I've been in a hospital where their tuition reimbursement was just like $10,000, and then the tuition that you're talking about might be $45,000 now. So hospital is giving you $10,000. You have to sort out yourself in paying the
It's
remaining
5,000.
$35,000. Yeah. So that's
Okay.
that's how it works. Okay.
Okay, sir. Please, can you just repeat that course you talked about? Clinical words.
Clinical documentation improvement practice. If you
Okay.
go to our YouTube, look for this word on our YouTube, you'll find it. I did a program with them about 2 times. I'll bring them again before we end the cultural and clinical document.
Okay. How can I register with them? Because I
Yeah,
like starting up immediately.
yeah, chat up Steph D so that she will send you a link, to register with them, or you can chat me up as well. I will send you a
Okay.
link that you can use to register with them as well.
Okay.
All
Thank you
right.
so much. I'm grateful.
You're welcome. Thank you, Choma. So we'll take 2 more questions and then we'll call it a day today. 2 more questions. Who is next?
Boss D, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good
From
evening.
Nigeria. My name is
Yes.
Adirunke. I want to
Where is
ask
my
just
Ghana people? It's only Nigeria that is asking. Where is Ghana? Where is
yeah,
Kenya? Where is Zimbabwe? Where is
just a
South
trail
Africa?
from
Okay, go ahead.
just a trail the first question. I'm wondering, not staying in the US for up to 6 months as a student, won't it
Mhm.
affect the green card status or citizenship process?
Okay, now let me give you an insight because I see that I get that question a lot too. So when you get your green card is for 10 years and is renewable. Okay, it's for 10 years and is what? Renewable. So they will write it there, expires. Like when we got our green card, we came here in 2019. Our green card was to expire. It hasn't even expired to right now, but we are citizens already. So your green card is to expire. Our own was to expire in 2029. You understand?
2030.
2030, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
which means we had 10 years to stay in the US. And within that 10 years, the requirement is that you will stay in the United States for 5 years, complete 5 years of those 10 years. or you can break it down. Like you came here, you stayed 1 year, you go back to another country, your home country, you stayed let's say 6 months there, you come back here, stayed 4 years, you go back again and stay. So what they will do is that they will calculate the number of times you have been in the United States. So in 10 years, you should spend 5 years in the United States. I don't know if you're getting my answer. So with that being said, how many years is nursing school in Nigeria? Highest. And most of them that are asking this question is either they are on second year or they are already on third year or something like that. So nursing school, medical school, none of them is 10 years. So within this period, they can finish their school, come back to the United States. The only problem, which is not a problem, is that the family that is constantly here in the United States will get their citizenship faster than the person that is doing a program in Nigeria. You understand? But will the person doing a program in Nigeria get the citizenship? Yes, the person will. Will the person be able to come in and go out of the United States anytime and at any point in time? Because he has a green card, the person can come in and go back at any time with green card into the United States. Okay, so but in 10 years, so the goal will now be to finish the medical school within these 10 years, come to the United States and stay consistently so that the person can meet up with that 5 year 5 year accumulated stay. So when they calculate the number of days you have stayed or number of years you have stayed in the United States, in 10 years it should just be 5 years. So that's what they need for them to give you. And then they say 5 years without committing any crime. You understand? So 5 years without committing any crime, they'll be able to give you your citizenship. I don't know if that answered your question. So forget about
Yeah.
citizenship will come. You
Yes, please.
understand? The only thing is that his own will come later. You understand? He will not come with others because of the time that he has spent. Okay, let me give us an instance. So me, I was in the United States. I stayed 5 years consistently, no break. You understand? But my wife had to go home to Nigeria within these 5 years before we got our citizenship. So when we did our citizenship, she was just in Nigeria for 2 weeks. They minus the 2 weeks out of the 5 years that she has stayed, but we still had extra time, like on top of it. We have spent more than 5 years before we went for our citizenship. So those 2 weeks didn't really count. But if she stayed like 1 year, you understand, she will need to now stay an additional 1 year to be able to be eligible for the citizenship. All right, Steph, that's what happened, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, is there any other question that we can take? Did I answer your question? The last person that I called. Did I
Yes,
answer
please.
that question?
Yes, please. Aderonke, yes, please. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, now the last question, and then we'll call it a day today. Steph, thank you for getting those questions on the comment section.
You're
All right,
welcome.
so any other question? You have any question that we can answer? You can unmute yourself and ask the question. The mic is open.
Hello, good
Hello,
evening.
boss. Good oh,
Okay.
Another person.
Okay, now, since I'm begging you people, nobody wants to talk. You wanted to talk, is now 2 people. Okay. Now, which of you is not Nigerian? Let's make sure that we are not.
Is it, I'm a Nigerian now.
I'm also in Nigeria, boss.
Okay, the person that is not in Nigeria, go first. Then we'll take the other Nigerian last. Okay. You ask, but you
I'm,
ask
I'm in
later.
Nigeria. Oh.
I'm a Nigerian, but I want to ask,
Okay, go ahead. One of you should
please, I
just go
want
ahead.
to ask, thank you so much for this enlightenment.
Mhm.
I want to ask, do you advise someone that has passed NCLEX to come in with F1 visa, knowing that after studying, you're still going back according to their agreements, the terms and conditions, you go back and now come back with your family. So do you advise one to do that?
Okay. So F1 visa is something that people are doing it a lot now because they consider it a faster way of bringing people to the United States. Okay. So, but what I would say to that is that any company that you're signing up with that wants to do F1 for you, except you're doing it by yourself, but any company that you're signing up with that wants to do F1 for you, also make sure that they are also agreeing to do your EB3. You understand? So it becomes like a concurrent filing. So as they are doing your F1, they are doing your EB3. That way, by the time your F1 is elapsing, your EB3 is kicking in. And you can do your interview here in the United States without any problem. So Decency Staffing has some concurrent candidate as well. So we did H1B, and some of our nurses are here in the United States, and they are on concurrent filing. So they have gotten their H1B, and they are now in the United States working, and then their EB3 process is still ongoing. So by the time it's time for them to go for interview, they will have their interview done in the United States, and their status will be changed from H1B to EB3 or from F1 to EB3, and they continue. All right, that way you
Wow.
don't have to go home. You understand? You can stay here and change your status and continue without necessarily going to your home country. All right?
All right. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, next question. Thank you. Next
Hello,
question.
boss. Good
Yes.
evening, sir.
Good evening. How
So
are
I want
you?
to ask that I'm fine. Is it advisable to start masters from Nigeria? Because I remember one of the session we had, one of the speaker told us that a masters from Nigeria is not always acceptable like that in the US. So I don't know. I'm already 60. My priority date is in 223. So I want to know whether
So
it's
yeah.
advisable just to be patient.
So what I want to ask you is what level? What level are you in currently? Have you gotten your case complete
Um,
or I-145?
yes.
You gotten
Yes,
your case
case
complete?
complete.
Okay, don't worry.
Yes,
No
and
need, no
priority
need.
date is November 2023.
No need, no need. November 2023, and you've gotten your case
Yes,
complete. So
yes.
with the way we are, our bulletin is at what? Is at I think the last one that came
April
out
to
April.
23. April.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it because I'm not an immigration attorney. I'm not USCIS. I cannot really beat my chest and say I am giving you this assurance. You understand? But with the trend of things, especially with the Trump administration, I believe that at some point 223 is going to be cleared in the area of getting current. 223 will become current. Everything in 223. You understand? Especially when we get to 2026. You understand? We are going to see that 223 will be current. So by that time, it will
All
be
right,
like
sir.
maybe higher six months from now. You understand? And when you become current, you can move to another country, do your interview, and come to the United States. You understand? So, so
All
if you
right, sir.
start your master's now, it's going to be a waste because you will not complete it. You understand? You won't be able to complete that program. So I wouldn't
All right,
advise
sir.
you to. You can do
Okay.
certification courses like this, clinical documentation. You can go and do a course on IT, anything that can help you to brush up so that when you come, you will not have problem with computer, having to know some shortcuts that can help you do your work faster. You understand? Yeah.
All right,
So,
sir.
yeah.
Thank you,
So
sir.
next question, and that will be our last question, please.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How are you
Evening.
doing?
My name is Ramota Olaofe, calling from Nigeria, Abuja precisely.
I know you. How are you doing, man?
But now, I'm
You
happy
say?
to doing well. I'm happy. You are my boss now.
No, no, no. This
I,
is my matron. Oh, please, you're still my matron in National Hospital. She's a matron there in National Hospital right now. So you have always been a matron. So yeah, well done,
I,
man.
most of the question, my concern has been addressed.
Okay.
But the most important thing that have been crossing my mind, though I have priority date, my case is not complete yet, and then a lot of things going on in my mind, and age is no longer on my side. I've been concerned. I hope this age will not be a barrier, and I will still be fitting into the stress of the work there. It is really giving me headache.
Anma, I really understand. But do you remember Ehimegu?
I remember in fact, he's even the one that has been giving me the energy. But now with
Please,
this
please,
retro,
can you tell people in this group about him? How old was he when he traveled?
Imegu was old. I don't know the actual age, but I know then he should be close to 50, if
No, no,
not
no.
above 50.
He was above, he was almost like about to retire. I know he was like 4 years to retire or something like that. What's the retirement
Wow.
age?
He's 60.
Yeah, so Erimegu was like before he left Nigeria was like 56 before he left Nigeria. He
Not up to
was
that age. But with
yeah.
this rotation, I hope I will not enter
No,
56.
you will not. No, we are not. You will not. So you see, so he was there and he's here. He's still working. He's still able to cope. You
Wow.
understand? So I just wanted to use somebody that you know to encourage you. It's not that serious. You understand? One thing with the US is that once you come, if you may not be able to work, they have different level of care. They are level one trauma hospital. Everybody working there, they are working like robots. Like these young children that came out from nursing school, they are working like robots. You see people they are running, you don't even know what's chasing them. Sometimes I've worked in several level one, but most of the time when I work there, what I used to pass some of them is that I know what I want. I prepare my things. She works in the operating room. Me and Steph, we worked under Ramota Olaofe. So what I do is I prepare everything and I get it once. But somebody that is young that doesn't really know the routine of the OR, they will be running for gauze, they come back, they run for drain, they come back. But I know that in this surgery, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that. I gather everything, I bring it to the room, and I don't have to run. So I have a very good day. I save my strength, I save my steps, but some of them, they just keep running up and down. And then people see them and, say that they are working, but me, I don't consider that being efficient. Being efficient is being able to predict what's going to happen in a surgery, gather everything that you need for that surgery, bring it to the room, and then you'll be able to. So for me, I think you would do excellently well. You understand? Even if you don't want to fit into the OR again, there is still lower levels of care like the nursing home, the rehabs, the all this senior assisted living. There's a lot of places where you can as well work, and it will be seemingly like like a very relaxed setting. You understand? But the level one trauma and level two trauma hospitals are very, very. Level one is the highest. Level two is like lower downgrade from level one. You understand? And some of these hospitals that are magnet hospitals, they are very, very fast paced. You understand? So if you come in, you choose your battles and then you decide on for yourself where you think you're going to belong. But for sure, you're going to be here and you will do well. Okay?
I Almighty God. Thank you so much for being there for me. Oh, I appreciate you. Extend my greetings to Madam
She's
and
here
the
looking
kids.
at you.
Good evening, Metron. Good evening. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, so you see, your daughter is going to be taking over this issue from me.
No problem. All right.
Coming up,
All right.
but
Okay.
I really appreciate
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you very much. All right.
you.
So that being said, we have come to the end of this meeting. We have a very tight schedule today. So, but we are going to be, everybody that needs that assistance, if you need to be in that group, please, the number of Steph D will be sent to the EPG group. Contact her, you'll be added to the group, and then we are going to be having lectures in that group as time goes on. All right. Like I said, this is not a paid program. We are doing it out of our own zeal and love to see people succeed, and it's not just for Nigerians, it's for everyone. So you might one day see people from Philippines or India in that group, which is going to be normal and it's going to be okay because once we give value to it, people will come to it. Okay. So I encourage us, if you get to the level that has been mentioned as a criteria, reach out and get assistance. Don't die in silence. A lot of people come to this country and they just do everything by themselves. You don't want people to know that you are now case complete, then you will not enter the group. And then before you know it, you're coming to me privately and telling me that things that we have discussed in the group, you're already falling prey or falling victim of it. I won't be happy about it. So I encourage you to go to that group if you qualify, get in there, get all the information. In fact, get a notebook so that you call it Nurse Migration Notebook. Anything that is a valuable information that is shared on that group, you will note it down so that when you run into such issues or problem, you have a resource to go to. All right. In the absence of any other question, Steph, did you have a closing remark that you want to give?
Okay, hello everyone once again. Just like we've all mentioned, please, if you have, I'm going to be creating the group. I see a lot of you sending me messages. Sorry, I may not be able to respond at this time, because like you say, we have a very tight schedule. But I will certainly respond to all of you. So I'll create a group and add you to the group. If you have other things you want us to discuss, kindly drop it in that group that I'm going to create. Any question you have, please ask in the group so that by the time I respond, everybody will see the response instead of coming to me individually to ask. At this point or at this stage you are, I don't think that you should be hiding anything from one another, because I assume everybody in that group is either in case complete or waiting for interview dates or already in America. So I don't think you're hiding anything at this point in time. So feel free to ask all your questions in that group and I will answer you to the best of my knowledge. All right, drop in every single thing you want us to discuss in that group. I'm going to develop a topic on that and share with you guys. We are all here to help you on this journey. We don't want you to fail. We're here to hold your hands and walk you through this journey so you don't make any mistake that you will regret in the future that will cost you a lot. All right. So thank you all for joining here and see you guys next week. We're officially starting those classes next week. It's going to be on weekends because that's the only time I'll have opportunity or availability to, take up a class with you guys. Usually Monday to Friday, I'm really very, very, very busy. So we'll be fixing the classes on Saturdays. The time will be communicated to you guys in that group. So stay tuned, all right? Please join, please, when you're chatting me up, tell me whether you have a case complete, whether you have your interview date. Tell me the stage you are. I might require you to show evidence. I don't want so many people in that group. I love a small group, all right, so that I would be able to carry all of you along. All right. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Decency. Thank you, everybody. As many of you that are still waiting for maybe case complete, just hang in there. Your own time is coming. All right. We're praying for all of you, and we'll see you all in America soonest. Have a good evening, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much, Steph. So one last thing before we draw the curtain for today. So if you are case complete, there is a new country that people are going to now, and they have lower wait times. Okay, they have lower wait time. So I will encourage you to take that opportunity and go to that country. The first person that took up the courage to try that country is currently in that country doing medicals. She has gotten her ID already. And I think she's in 2023. So what is happening right now is that people in 2022 from countries like Ghana, Nigeria, they are still waiting for ID. Why people in 2023, maybe January, February, that are current, have gone to other countries, gotten IDs, and they're already about to travel. So you have to be wise. Yes, name of country that Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso. All right. So Burkina Faso is the name of the country. One of my candidates, my very good friend, is there. I'm not going to mention her name, but I'm also going to, I already asked her to share some numbers like Airbnb that you can stay in the place when you get there, how much their medical is. So she's gathering all those information. She's going to give us the contact for the medicals, how much the whole process will cost. So keep tuned, just keep on coming for this program. When I get those informations, maybe on next week Friday, I will share them with you people, and you can transfer your case gradually to Burkina Faso and do your interview and come to America. All right. So I've said that here, and I won't be repeating it again, because that's how we keep on doing to Benin. And now Benin is almost saturated. Benin is saturated now. And then people are going to other countries, but Burkina Faso, low wait time. Like it will happen like weeks. You got the person got case complete before you know it. He got ID before you know it. Everything was just going so fast in the country. All right. So yeah, so that would be the end of our meeting for today. This recording will be shared on our YouTube in the next 5 hours. So if you go to our YouTube, if you missed any part of it, you will get the recording for this meeting. All right, so thank you very much, everyone. I want to appreciate us for joining. At a point, we're almost 80 people on this meeting, and I like it so much. I wish we can start with 80. You know, I don't want us to be having people joining us midway. I want us to have people join us from the time. So every 6 p.m., that's when we start. Friday, just look for our link. Don't wait for people to come and start telling you we have started. Just look for our link every Friday. We'll be here waiting for you, and then we can all share the good news together. So, like I said, I am the vendor of good news, but I think my wife has joined me now. So we are now the vendor. Somebody said we are ministers of good news. All right. So yeah, we'll call it a day here. Just keep a date with us next week, Friday, and then look out for publications about the mentorship for Saturdays as well. God bless you all. I'll see you all next week. Bye.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, Steph. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you,
God
sir.
bless you. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sama.
You're
Good
welcome.
Thank you,
night.
Everyone.
You're
Bobby. Thank
welcome.
you,
Thank
Peggy.
you
God
very
bless
much.
you
Lucy.
both. Thank
You're
you. Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Decency. Thank you, Step B.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. All the
I'm
best.
hoping to get your